Okay. Sit down. I need to tell you about a procurement. Two vendors walk into an empire and sell the emperor cloth that does not exist. The pitch? It's magnificent, but invisible to anyone unfit for office. So every official inspects an empty loom and signs off. The silk is billed. The gold thread is billed. The overtime is billed. There is no cloth. There was never any cloth. And the whole thing comes down at a parade in one sentence from a witness who doesn't even bill hours. Folks, cleanest fraud, dirtiest paper trail in the folder. Let's go. Fairy Tale Flip. Episode 12. The Emperor's New Clothes, a procurement fraud story. Or, as the file reads, paid in full, delivered in nothing. Meet the Emperor. He does not care for his soldiers, his theatre, or his forests. He cares for clothes. New outfit every hour. The record says when people ask for him, the answer isn't, he's in council. It's, he's in the wardrobe. Now profile that as a target, folks. Unlimited budget, zero oversight, and an approval process made entirely of vanity. Fraud doesn't pick locks. Fraud reads profiles. Enter two strangers claiming to be weavers. The vendors, the pitch. They can weave, they announce, the most magnificent cloth imaginable. Colours beyond description, patterns beyond compare. And one feature no other textile on earth can offer. We'll get to the feature. The feature deserves its own scene. The Emperor hears magnificent and exclusive and reaches for the treasury. No samples requested, no references checked, no second bid. Sir, you have procured socks with more diligence. Actually, no, you haven't. That's the problem. Here's the feature. The cloth, say the weavers, is invisible to anyone unfit for his office or hopelessly stupid. The conflict. The spec. Read that clause again, folks. The product cannot fail inspection, because failing the inspection means the inspector fails. Report a defect, indict yourself. They didn't defeat the audit, they deputized it. That is the most elegant clause in 12 files, and it is a crime. The requisitions begin. Finest silk, gold thread, cash advances, all delivered, and all straight into the vendor's knapsacks. The theft, the thread. The one part of this fraud you can weigh. Then they set up two looms and work them, empty, deep into the night, billing overtime. Our dramatization unit reconstructed the production floor. They used real clay. We checked the receipts. Not 1 inch of thread. Tremendous commitment to the bit, though. 16 candles a night, folks. Build. The Emperor, mildly curious how his fortune is weaving along, does what executives do. Sends someone else. His most honest old minister. Competent, decent, trusted. Which is exactly why he's the perfect first domino. The minister enters the workshop. The weavers gesture proudly at the empty looms, and the minister opens his eyes wide and sees nothing. Am I unfit for my office? He thinks. Am I stupid? And in that moment, folks, the spec closes around him like a trap, because he decides no one must ever know. He praises the colors. He admires the pattern. He memorizes the weaver's own description so he can repeat it to the Emperor in detail about cloth he cannot see. The cascade, the sign-off, understand the mechanism. The first signature is fear. Every signature after that is company. And company, in a bureaucracy, compounds like interest. A second official is dispatched. Same workshop, same empty looms, same private panic, same glowing report. Then the Emperor goes himself with a full retinue. He looks at the looms and sees nothing. Am I unfit to be Emperor? And out loud, it is very pretty. It has our highest approval. The retinue can't see it either. The retinue also approves. 16 officials have now inspected nothing and described it in detail. And every description matches, folks, because they are all quoting the vendor's brochure. The file now contains more eyewitness testimony than the cloth contains throws. And the vendors? Promoted mid-fraud. The Emperor awards them ribbons, a knightly cross, and the official title of Imperial Court Weaver. A performance bonus for an empty loom before delivery. They celebrate by requisitioning more gold thread. For the looms, you understand. The looms that have never held any. Straight into the knapsacks. The night before the Great Parade, the vendors stage the finale. 16 candles burning, build. They cut the air with enormous scissors. They sew with needles that hold no thread. And at dawn, they present the finished wardrobe, garment by garment. Trousers, coat, cloak, all as light as spiderwebs. You'll feel as if you're wearing nothing at all. Sir, that is not a selling point. That is a confession with a thread count. That is the beauty of the cloth, they add. It's in the brochure. Everything is in the brochure. The delivery, the fitting. The Emperor removes his clothes, and the vendors dress him piece by invisible piece before the great mirror, while the whole court admires the ensemble. Now, the record describes this outfit at considerable length. There is no outfit. This is a family program, and we will be framing from the collarbone up. The mirror, I'll note, says nothing. Second most honest party in the file. And so, under a canopy of state, the Emperor steps into the street. The acceptance. The parade. Behind him, 2 chamberlains stoop, feel along the ground and pick up the train of his cloak. The train that is not there, and carry it, arms high, faces grave. 2 grown men carrying nothing, folks, and their arms are getting tired. That is the most honest detail in the entire record. And the crowd? The crowd has heard about the spec. Nobody wants to be the one unfit for their office, their guild, their marriage. So the street fills with praise. What a magnificent cloak! What colours! What a fit! Understand what's happening, folks? The fraud isn't at the loom anymore. It's in the street. Every cheer is a signature. The whole city is co-signing a delivery that never occurred. Public acceptance, unanimous, of an empty invoice. It would have worked too, except somebody brought their kid to a parade. A small child up on the parent's shoulders looks at the procession and says, at full, clear child volume, "But he hasn't got anything on!" The findings. The audit. 1 sentence. 0 fee. The only witness in the Empire with no office to lose, no title to protect, and no signature on file. The parent tries the classic out of the mouths of babes walk back, and it's too late. The whisper runs the whole parade route, and the crowd flips block by block until the entire city is saying it. And the Emperor? The record is precise. He shudders because he suspects they're right, and then draws himself up and finishes the parade prouder than ever, chamberlains still carrying nothing. Committed. To the wrong thing, but committed. Now, in the original edition, the weavers are never seen again. They leave rich. Nothing happens. No, different edition. In this file, 2 vendors are stopped at the city gate with saddlebags full of imperial silk, gold thread, and cash advances. The cloth was imaginary, folks. The luggage is not. You can't arrest a lie, but you can absolutely weigh one. So let's review the file. The pitch, the spec, the thread, the sign-off, the fitting, the parade, the audit. 1 imaginary product, 16 real signatures, and a conviction secured by luggage. The consequences. The vendors are charged with fraud and theft. Restitution is paid out of the saddlebags, with the knightly cross returned by certified mail. The 16 officials keep their jobs but attend remedial inspection school, where the first lesson is the new imperial rule. I don't see it is now an acceptable finding. The emperor commissions a new wardrobe, of fabric, visible fabric, and decrees that every future contract requires a sample you can touch. And the child is entered in the record as the youngest examiner in the folder. Fee 0. Findings sustained in full. Protect that witness. The empire's cheapest procedure was the only one that worked. So here's your fairy tale flip moral, folks. If a product punishes you for inspecting it, the product is the fraud. And the most expensive sentence in any organization is, everyone else signed off. Next time on Fairy Tale Flip, the clerk is still stamping the next file, and folks, the folder is thick. Somewhere out there, a kingdom is signing something it shouldn't, on a deadline it won't meet, with a witness it forgot to count. There always is. Bring your reading glasses. See you then.